I love the look of it. I like how it looks. It just, the colors, everything about it, I just love the way it looks, and it's fairly easy to use. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one, but have you ever scrolled on social media or just anywhere online and you just thought, oh my goodness, the quality of this clip or the quality of this photo is just so great, the depth of field in this, just the cinematic look of it, I just love everything about it. I just need to know what freaking camera are they using. You go on there and you just type something, or you see other people typing, hey, would love to know what camera you're using, and the photographer or videographer is going to give you a rundown why on earth this photo or the video has nothing to do with the camera they're using. It's all about their art, and you wouldn't be able to recreate it if you tried to, because it has nothing to do with the camera. I just get so infuriated about these people, because I get it. A lot of it has to do with the experience and how you use it. And I know there's a billion videos out there who say you can make the most cinematic views just with your iPhone 15 Pro, and yeah, that's like a super expensive iPhone. Obviously you're gonna get good results with it, but still it does look different. I think there is a major difference, and you're just like, I just still want to know what the camera you're using, because at least give me the chance to know what camera you're using, and then I can define for myself whether I will be able, and maybe I'm not even trying to copy, I'm not even trying to make the same photo as you, or not trying to make the same videos as you, but I would love to know what's the best gear, or what is it that you use that led to such an incredible result. I think it's so silly that people don't see it as a compliment and just see it as such an attack on their art and their skill, and just be like, oh my gosh, like it has nothing to do with the camera, it's me, I've like 10 plus years of experience. And yes, there's so much truth to that. And I believe too, when I go on the editing process, it's a big portion, especially with videography. It's so much as the editing, so much time goes into it, like the filming, the composition. There's so many aspects to video making, obviously in photography too, but especially I think in videography, there's so much to it. But I still believe that if you have good footage in the first place, and yes, it has to do with how you shoot and how you put your settings and all this stuff, but if you have a solid setup, the chances of you actually getting a really good video is much higher. And so I think we should all be more generous, and I think maybe sometimes it is people don't want to share that they use such expensive gear to get the results. They kind of want to just, you know, camera, whatever, but it's like a really nice camera. But I think for the most part, people just don't want other people to know, which is silly, but yeah. I'm going to share with you what I'm using, because I get the question all the time, what camera to use, and I'm happy to share. I'm going to share with you the exact camera I use, but it's not just about the camera, it's also about the accessories I use with it, because they make a big difference on how the end result looks in terms of how soft it looks, how is the lighting, how is the exposure and stuff. So I will share with you all the stuff that I'm using to create my videos. And I do want to remind you that this is a really expensive setup. This is not a cheap setup, and videography is a hobby of mine. It's something that I used to make money with, so that's the excuse I have for having this expensive camera. But if you're just starting out, this is not the camera for you. But if you're looking for a good camera, if you're looking to be more serious about it, and you're trying to figure out which camera is good to invest in, I think that's a good one. I'm currently filming with this camera, but I obviously will show you the camera later, using my iPhone to film this. And you'll see there's a great quality too on my iPhone. And I've done clips with my iPhone as well, because sometimes it's not as convenient bringing this giant camera with you in certain spots. So I do use my iPhone quite often. However, if you're looking for a really great camera, I did a lot of research. I've always was a Canon shooter. Sorry, this umbrella is really loud. Okay, I always used Canon, and I think they make amazing cameras, but I looked more into videography and more cinematography, and I came across the Sony FX30, and I was obsessed with it. I loved it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is insane. Like even Netflix movies were filmed with it. And so I thought this is just such a great camera until I saw the price. I just couldn't justify the price. And so I looked into it more, and I saw very quickly that there's a little brother called the FX30. That's the camera I'm using right now, and as you probably already saw in the title, that's the camera that I've been shooting all my videos on, and it's been such a joy filming with this camera, especially coming from Canon and switching and just trying to figure out like how to even use this thing and how to use Sony, because it is different. This camera has brought so much joy to me, and I think that's the camera that not everyone is using, but a lot of people are using for videography. There's two reasons why I love this camera. For one, it's priced very fairly considering that it's a cinema camera. And for two, I love the look of it. I like how it looks. It just, the colors, everything about it, I just love the way it looks, and it's fairly easy to use. It has great features, and I just enjoyed it. I think the most important part is how easy it is to use a camera, because at the end of the day, you just want to set it up, quickly start shooting, because you don't want to take a lot of preparation, all this stuff, especially if you're trying to get things done, because if you're struggling with perfectionism, the less things you have to worry about, the easier it is for actually to get an end result rather than trying to focus on all the little details. And so I've been loving this camera so much because it's been so easy and versatile for me to use. The reason why I ended up with the FX30, not the FX3, it's, for one, the price point was for me not justifiable. I know it's a full frame and FX30 is not a full frame. However, I think that the quality of the FX30 was just so close to the FX3 that I really just couldn't justify the price. And yeah, if I had the money in the world to just buy whatever I want, maybe I would go for the FX3 just because it is an inch better. However, for the quality and what you get, the FX30 is just so close to the FX3 that I think that's definitely a good choice to go with. But I guess if I had the money in the world, I remember the first time I used a Komodo red camera. That was just that level of beauty and cinematography you can get out of these is just obviously such a different ballgame. I love the look of it. I love red cameras. They're really hard to use. I thought, for me at least, they were hard to use. And I just love everything about it. So if I come to a lot of money, I probably will buy a red camera one day because I just love the idea and the look of it, and just, oh my gosh, like I think that's just the camera to go for if you're a full-time videographer, professional, whatnot. I love the idea of them. But they're just so much more expensive. They're just like way out there, very crazy expensive. And so if you're just looking to get into cinematography, if you're trying to create videos that have better quality than just your iPhone, because I do believe there is a difference. And yes, you can create, again, super beautiful videos with iPhone. Don't need to have an expensive setup. But again, if you're trying to get into it with more seriousness, I would say, then I think the FX30 is just such a great beginner cinematography camera that you're gonna get so much joy out of it. There's two things that I added to the camera that make a big difference. Well, one is an ND filter, and for two is a mist filter. And the mist filter actually makes lights more soft. It almost gives this like a little bit of a grainy feel, and it disperses the light that it's not so harsh, and it gives more of a dreamy cinematic look. So I highly recommend getting for sure a mist filter and an ND filter if you're shooting a lot during the day, because that will help you work with the exposure. And the one I have is from, let me see, Nissi Black Mist 1/4. And so that's the one I'm having on this camera right now. I love it. I would highly recommend it. It makes such a difference. It's going to give you that cinematic feel that you're probably looking for. And the ND filter is great because it just lets in more light. I have a fixed ND filter. I know they have variable ones, but I feel the quality with fixed ND filters is better, but it is more pain to use. So definitely get a mist filter and get an ND filter if you can. Next time you want to know what camera the people are using, and especially if you're following big creators out there, a lot of them using very, very expensive gears. And it's unfortunate, but that's just their full-time job, and so they can justify spending that much, and people expect that type of quality. But if you're just getting started, I know there's cameras out there that are a lot more affordable that also have great quality, but if you're looking for the cinematic entrance level, it's not even a beginner's camera, but it's just price-wise and not the craziest investment compared to other cinematic cameras. And so yeah, I highly recommend it. It's just such a great setup. Also, another important part, of course, is the lens, what lens you're using. That makes a huge difference. And so figuring out if you had to choose between a lens and a body, always go for the better lens because you are going to get a better of a shot. But yeah, I generally love this camera so much. It's been such a joy, and maybe eventually I will upgrade, but for now this camera does the job, and I love the end result of it, and you guys seem to like it because you constantly ask me what camera I use. So, and just to come back to I'm not going to tell you which camera I use because it's me, I'm the artist, and now the sprinklers are turning on, which is great. I hope my camera's not going to get wet because that's not waterproof. I hope you can hear me. Anyways, I think coming back to I don't want to share with camera, it has a lot to do with my experience. And yes, there's a huge part about it. It's the editing, it's the composition, the settings, being able to understand what looks good, especially I think in videography when you have to find out different angles, compositions, and storytelling, how to do that, how to make it even look that pretty. And also about the person who's in the shot. Maybe they have great costumes on, or maybe the scenery is very beautiful. All of that plays a huge role, because I have to say, quite honestly, when I'm here in Spain, the scenery is obviously so much more pretty than when I'm in Germany, because it's just like the nature here. It's so much, like everything here is so pretty. And I have to say, in Germany, like there's pretty places. Not gonna say that. Not gonna have people get hate on me, but There's no ocean around me. There's nothing as pretty. The sunsets aren't that great as they are here. And so filming it here obviously is a huge bonus. And so next time when you see someone wanting to gatekeep the camera, just let them have their pride. It's fine, but people who are having really great setups do use, unfortunately, very expensive cameras. A lot of creators will tell you, oh, you can just use an iPhone because they don't want to be inauthentic, because they don't want to tell you, otherwise it will make them look inauthentic. They're worried they're going to look entitled by saying, oh, just use a camera at the end of the day, it's just the moments, the story and stuff. But sometimes I just think people can just share what gear they use and then be okay with other people using the same gear. It's just ridiculous at some points, but yeah. I hope this video helps you decide which camera to get. I could share with you a lot of the specs on this camera and how it can shoot in all these different specs, but I always figured when I watch these videos and it's just throwing all this information at you, like how many frames per second, how much megapixels and all this stuff, I always feel like, yes, this is great but for a person who's just trying to get good videos going. I'm not the nerdy tech who can tell you this is exactly the frames, this is like, but I think this information sometimes it's quite boring, because at the end of the day you can go on the website and see what are the specs on it, and just know if you're paying that much money for a camera, the specs will be good enough for you to create great videos. That's all I can say. But I hope you enjoyed this little video about sharing my gear, because that's the question I get asked the most. What gear am I using? And of course I will say it, I have over 10 years of experience making videos, and there's part of me that wants to say that makes my videos great, but I'm also 100% aware that the gear I'm using is great gear and it makes my job a lot easier. So that's it already. Thank you. I'll see you soon.